Gothenburg is the setting for what's been described as the final of the missing men. Lee isn't here. He's serving a 12-month suspension. The anti-post favourites, Dennis Sigalos of America, and England's #1, Kenny Carter, also miss out through injury. Now, their absence means it's the most open final since the war, and a unique opportunity for a rider lower down the world rankings to plunder Speedway's greatest prize, just as West Germany's Egon Müller did 12 months ago on his home territory. So we could well be looking for men like England's lone qualifier, Simon Wigg. The consistent Australian Billy Sanders, holder of the track record here. There's a real home track specialist in Sweden's Jan Andersson. And what about the three flamboyant Americans, the Moran brothers, Kelly and Sean, and Lance King? Or maybe the flying Danes, Hans Nielsen or Erik Gundersen. Speedway badly needs a charismatic champion because the sport has lost in recent years box office giants like Ollie Olsen, the Danish triple champion. 6 times winner Ivan Major of New Zealand, now in partial retirement, but both here in Gothenburg among a parade of legendary ex-champions. And perhaps the most glamorous champion of them all, Bruce Pennell of America, now an established Hollywood star, who now joins our commentary team here in Sweden. Coming in then for a critical Heat 1 with 4 riders, all of whom have their eyes firmly on this title. 3 of the favourites on the inside, Billy Sanders, red from Australia, track record holder here at Gothenburg. Next to him, Bo Peterson in blue in his first world final. Grid 3, Hans Nielsen, who's never yet really got a grip of a world final from Denmark. He's in white. And on the outside, the home track specialist, Jan Andersson. A big chance for him here on home shell in Gothenburg. Heat #1 could answer a whole lot of questions. Here we go. And Peterson nudges the tapes. He's allowed to get away with it once. The referee Gundersen has told him he won't tolerate a lot of it though. And Peterson, this time they're away. And it is Nielsen who leads it. Nielsen is the corner first. Sanders has been left. Nielsen leads it. In second place it's Peterson. Andersson has overcooked the second corner and is back in last place, and that's a disappointment. Andersson coming through now into third place. The Swedes are enjoying that. But it's Hans Nielsen in front. Peterson second. Third place now Billy Sanders.
Boy, I'll tell you, Hans looks very, very smooth and so fast. He's already picked up like 4 bike lengths ahead of Bo Peterson. What a fantastic start he made, though, Dave.
And it's interesting here that Jan Andersson, who we all thought might be the real threat on home territory, is at the back. And Bruce, we look back over the record of, what, 38 world finals, and I think I'm right in saying that nobody who's had a last place has ever recovered to win.
I don't think so. You know, this is Jan's home track, and I expected him to be up there a little closer, but I think he might have got filled in with a little of that shale early on in the heats, and it's very, very slick out there, Dave. There's not going to be much passing today, that's for darn sure. And
Nielsen is absolutely taking him apart here in Heat 1. He's, what, 30, 40 lengths clear of Bo Peterson. The Danes will rise to him. Nielsen goes over the line, 3 points. What a start. Second place Peterson, third is Sanders, and Andersson is at the back.
It's a nice heat for Hans to get over with, I'll tell you. You know, like I said, once you get that first heat over with, boy, the rest of it comes, well, not real easy, but a little easier.
Heat #2 then, Gundersen on the inside. Next to him, Shearer. Grid 3 has Moran on the outside. It is Müller. The start, so critical. And it is Moran who's impatient. And they're break this time, and up to the corner. It looks like Shearer's got away. Shearer leads it. In second place, it is Gundersen. Müller coming hard around the outside, and Sean Moran has been left. And, well, here is a surprise. It is Mitch Shearer in front, going hard after him, Erik Gundersen.
Mitch made a great start, but you can see that Erik's got a lot of motor on. He just doesn't know where to pass him at the time, but Erik's bikes look very, very fast right now. Sean is trying to pick up the rear. It just doesn't look like he's getting any grip whatsoever, Dave.
So we've had already 1 or 2 surprises, and Shearer is riding an immaculate line, and Gundersen is right on his back wheel.
Boy, Egon Müller holding a steady third place. There's nothing Sean can do. The track is so slick, it's just going to be a Gators track tonight, I'm afraid.
And Moran making his effort at the back. This is the leading 2 we can see in picture, and Moran has gone around the outside of Müller. And Müller shakes his head and looks as though he's already relinquished his title. It's unlike him. Shearer's still stretching away up front. There's the battle, and Gundersen must make his last effort around these last 2 corners. But Shearer is not to be set back or deterred. He wins it. Second place Gundersen, third is Sean Moran, and last is Müller. Simon Wigg then, England's last hope in the 1984 World Championship, in his first world final. A tall order for to expect him to win it. There in white is Kai Niemi. This is his third appearance. On the outside, Karl Mayer from West Germany, one of the real no-hopers. In all honesty and fairness, it would be a major surprise if this boy did very much, although he's an accomplished long-track performer. Heat 3, Kelly Moran on the inside, next to him Simon Wigg. Grid 3 has Kai Niemi on the outside, it is Karl Mayer. And again, there's impatience, and Niemi is the boy who's doing the dodging and ducking, and Simon Wigg's got a flyer. Oh, what a start from Wiggy. Wiggy's away. Second place, it is Kelly Moran. Third place, coming hard around, it is just hanging on there, Kai Niemi. But Simon Wigg has made a dream start in his first world final. He is away, and Kelly Moran is right after him.
Boy, Simon looks so hungry tonight. It's great. You know, you can tell that he's not feeling any of the effects of pressure whatsoever.
He's got to watch for doing that, though, Bruce. He does leave himself vulnerable, particularly entering the corners. He leaves a hole. We saw that in the World Team Cup final in Poland, and he's just got to pick his line better going into the corners.
Turn 1 and 2, he seems to drift up a little bit. That's where Kelly caught a little ground on him last lap, but it looks like he's covered himself and he's away. He's got about 3 or 4 bike legs on Kelly, which is fine.
Well, it's 400 metres around this Ullevi stadium track, and Wigg has got time to look back, and there's clear daylight between him and Kelly Moran, and there's a fair few English fans here, and they'll rise to this lad. He's really given them something to shout about. We haven't had much of a season in English Speedway, but this is a super start from Simon Wigg, Mr. Sexy Arms from Oxford, and the British fans are on their feet. He wins it. Second place, Kelly Moran. Third place there was Kai Niemi. And well, we could hardly have hoped for a more heartening start for English Speedway hopes than a win from Simon Wigg.
What a terrific start for you, Simon.
Just what I needed, yeah. I had to start and as fast as I could, and that'll do.
But Kelly Moran was right behind you. You did tend to leave a bit of a hole at one of those bends.
It's so early in the meeting, but there's still a bit of grip on the outside, and I didn't really know whether to ride in the grip to make the bike go quick, or ride up the inside to get in his way. And I left a big hole when I went to look for a bit of grip, but it wasn't really good enough. So the next time round I stayed in it. I had a look on the last lap and he was a little way back, so I had a go in it, and it felt I should have got in it earlier, you know.
It's quickly apparent that fast starting is all important on a slick track, which makes passing difficult. And in Heat 5, Erik Gundersen showed he's absolutely determined to hit the front and stay there. Gundersen in the white helmet wins it, with Sanders in second place and Kai Niemi third. Heat 6, and Lance King on the inside, lining up against his fellow Americans, and Bo Peterson in the white helmet in grid 3. King clearly has the lead into the first turn. Peterson gets a nudge here. The American brothers go piling through, but it is King who gets his wheels back into line to win Heat 6. Heat 7 and 3 previous race winners. So England's Simon Wigg on the inside, Mitch Shearer, who's beaten Gundersen, and Hans Nielsen on the outside, and Nielsen chops across the field, proving there's no bogey on the outside grid for him, levelling off to go on to win from Shearer, eventually pushing Wigg back into third place. Heat 11, and it's all about the outside grids. Nielsen in white and Lance King left on the outside in yellow and black. Nielsen gets to the corner in front. Karl Mayer is second in the blue helmet colour. Nielsen, we can see, levelling off, and King having to really work at him, burst through on the inside to claim second place. But it is Nielsen from this point in. He takes Heat 11, and that win takes him onto the leaderboard in the lead at the interval on 9 points. In second place, Erik Gundersen and Lance King tying. Kelly Moran, Mitch Shearer and Simon Wigg on 6. And what a race King had in Heat 30. And King has got a really stretch now. He's got, what, 10, 12 lengths to make up, and we haven't, it must be said, seen an awful lot of passing here at Ullevi after the first couple of corners or so. You must remember, of course, it is a world final. These boys are the top boys. They don't make mistakes when they're in front, and King is closing infinitesimally. He's got about a lap and a half to make up the ground. Mayer has all trouble, and King is right up his back wheel, and now we have a last lap, and Lance King unable to take his opportunity there. I don't think he anticipated that Mayer would make such a mistake, and King really is trying his heart out here, and he's closing and into the last 2 corners. Can he possibly find anything special? And Mayer again is drifted out, and King has come inside him, and King will just snatch it on the line by a length. Oh,
fantastic finish for Lance King.
Well, let's watch King here. Bruce, he makes up an awful lot of ground. It's Mayer in the blue helmet colour. Here comes Lance King, and Mayer's moved out, and King sees his moment.
See, they've just picked up a little bit of grip. Carl Mayer has, and Lance has pushed him out here right to the fence and has left him no room. Very smart move, and it wasn't too dangerous at all.
Well, Hans, the final's shaping up now. It seems to be heat 15 against Gundersen that could well decide this title.
You're definitely right, yeah, that's a really important one. If I can win that one, I believe I could very well be champion.
Even if you finish second, though, and you've got maximum points in your last heat, you can get a run-off, so it's looking very good for you.
That's right, yeah, I'm very pleased the way it's gone so far, and I just hope I can make the start in that next one, and I should almost be there then.
And here we go then, heat 15 with the Danes battling it out, and Nielsen is impatient, and way back Ondrasik is taking his time, and Ondrasik has been left, and is the referee going to allow that? Here he is, and it's Gundersen and Nielsen, and it's all levelling up, and Moran has slipped through, and through on the outside has gone Gundersen, and Nielsen was squeezed out in the most horrendous piece of hair-raising cornering. It is Gundersen in front, Moran is second, Nielsen, well, I wonder how you react to that, but this is wide open now. Gundersen in the lead, Moran second, Nielsen a long way back, and Nielsen's in trouble. Bruce, what happened there?
What a first corner, I'll tell you. Hans had a little bit of a wheel on Erik, and Erik just stood his ground. There's no way they were going to push him out of the way. He did such a good job. Kelly was in the right position at the right time and snuck right back underneath them.
And of course, with Nielsen back in third place, this puts Gundersen right in line for the title. And we are reminded that Lance King is still in there too. He's only dropped a point into the last lap. Moran, as we felt, is an apple cart merchant here. Of course, we might still be in for a runoff for this title. We haven't had one for 11 years. It's been a long time since we've had such a level final, and Gundersen critically wins race number 15. Second place Moran, third Nielsen, and we wonder if Hans' chance has gone. Certainly the 1984 world title race is wide open now. Well, here is that first corner. Let's watch it again. What happens, Bruce?
Well, you see, Erik is lifting a little bit. His front wheel is off the ground. He's trying to get it back down. Hans is also off the front. His front wheel is off the ground, but he seems to get to the corner just ahead of Erik. But Erik is leaning on Kelly. Kelly is right in the middle of nowhere to go, and there's no way that Erik is going to let Hans push him out of the way. Kelly snuck back underneath him. As you can see, he's pushing him out. Hans is pushing Erik out a little bit. Erik oversteered a little bit. Now he's going to turn. He's in the dirt, and Kelly just happened to be in the right place at the right time and snuck right underneath Hans. Very, very good and tight first corner.
There is the lineup for Heat 19. Nielsen desperately needing a win and really nothing less to get into the rostrum. He's on the inside. Carl Mayer could be a danger. He's hopped out of grid 2 and has got in everybody's way and can go a bit. He is in grid 2 in blue. Grid 3 has Yuri Stansel, who has been sadly out of touch, and Sean Moran, who has been erratic but who will want to help his fellow countryman Lance King, who could still take this title, and Sean will be flat out to try and get out of the gate and lead Nielsen. Nielsen on the inside. There is Jerry Stansel, and there is Sean Moran, and Moran is not in the happiest of grids, but he will be most anxious to give his fellow countryman Lance King a real shout at this title. We've had 4 different world champions from 4 different nations in Gothenburg finals. We've never had an American, and Moran will want to do something about that. Watch for Nielsen on the inside, and Sean Moran on the outside, and away they go, and up to the corner. It is Nielsen and Mayer, and Moran will swing across on the inside, and Moran's ridden a beautiful first corner. Down the inside he has gone. Nielsen goes round him though and gets his wheels back in line the quickest. But tremendous piece of strategic riding, but Nielsen is now in front, and he is kicking on.
Very wise move by Sean in the first corner, but Hans seemed to get his wheels in line a little quicker, and plus I think he was pushed out in the dirt a little bit more, so he got the drive all the way down that back straightaway. He's really going now. And
that is a very fast motor he has. It is, of course, a British-built Godden, built by former grass track ace Don Godden down there in West Malling. And it does look as though it has got everything going for it. Moran now under a bit of pressure from Carl Mayer. So Hans Nielsen, the kid from the village of Brost, knows that whatever happens now, he is assured of a place on the rostrum, and he still might win this title. 1 more lap to go. Now he'll be praying and keeping his fingers crossed that Godden motor doesn't miss a beat. Bruce, this is an anxious moment for him.
Yeah, it sure is. Everything's rattling. The chains are rattling, everything. And you can see they're starting to move out in the dirt a little bit more. Track has changed again.
And Nielsen takes heat 19, second place Moran, third place was Mayer. And that means Hans Nielsen, in his 5th world final, he's still only 24, is assured of a place in the first 3 and might still yet be in with a real shout for the title. It's all down to the last race, heat 20, and I cannot recall a world final going on this long and this late in the event before we knew the eventual winner. It really is a scripted world final. It's going to be a nail-biter. Who will make the jump? King in 2, remember, the youngest finalist at 21. He could become one of the youngest men ever to win the world crown. The inside of him, Erik Gundersen, he's only 24. And you could put your hand out here in this beautiful Scandinavian sunset and really touch the atmosphere. It is red hot here as we come into heat 20. Let's spell it out again. On the inside, Gundersen, red, needs to win to be the new champion. In blue, Lance King, a win here will make him the champion. Grid 3, Simon Wigg needs a win for a place in the rostrum in his first world final. On the outside, Jan Andersen on his home track. The start, so crucially important. Who will jump? It is Gundersen. Gundersen is away, King is second, Wigg is third. Erik Gundersen and King almost lost it on the second turn there, but Erik Gundersen is out in front and going for his life.
It's a little early yet, Dave, but I think we might have a new world champion here, Erik Gundersen. He looks very, very comfortable. If his motor stays in one piece, no flat tires, chain stay on, I think we might have Erik Gundersen as a world champion.
Well, it's looking more that way. Erik Gundersen, 24-year-old from Ebsburg, rides with Cradley Heath, talks English with a lovely black country accent, looking back over his shoulder. He's got 2 laps to go to glory and the world crown, which should be worth to him, what, $250,000 over the next 6 months, and Gundersen is stretching them. And in third place, it is Andersen. Simon Wigg has been dropped off, so a disappointing end to his first world final. Now just 1 lap to go, and we'll let the Danish crowd carry Erik Gundersen through to glory.
Well, you don't know what it feels like right now, Dave. He is so tight, but I'll tell you what, he can almost feel it. He's almost there.
And the celebrations will start. I know Ollie Olsen will be quick out. And Gundersen fists the air. He is the champion. Second place King. We're going to have a run-off with him and Nielsen for second place overall. Andersen is third. But it is Erik Gundersen's night. A vast posse of photographers come galloping out. His Danish teammates will grab him. I have no doubts at all about that. What a moment for Erik Gundersen. What a moment for Denmark. They've won the Team Cup. He's going up in the air. And he's absolutely overjoyed.
You know, I'd like to say something also. This is the 2nd year in a row that the Italian motor, GM, Giuseppe Marzotto, has won the World Championship.
Well, the Danes will celebrate. I'm quite sure the old lager will flow tonight in Gothenburg, and somewhere down there I'm sure we've got Gary Newbold.
Eric, let's get your first reaction to being world champion.
And that's a great feeling. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Eric, what about that last heat that made you world champion?
Well, you know, it's I was so nervous for it, you know, and I tried to get psyched up by Ollie for it, you know, and I did that. I sat outside the stadium like Ollie did in '71, and just it did me perfect, Gary. And I can't believe it. Can't believe it, Gary.
What about it, Ollie?
It's the greatest thing ever. He deserves it. He deserves it, mate. Brilliant, brilliant.
Yes, a night of celebration for the Danes in Gothenburg. Cradley Heath's Erik Gundersen, the champion, and his compatriot Hans Nielsen, who rides for Oxford, finished runner-up after beating America's Lanning.